The Simone Feiler podcast, giving authors a platform. Welcome to the podcast.
G'day there, Simone Feiler. I've had the absolute pleasure of working with psychologist and author Liz Anderson this week at Brisbane Audiobook Production, with Liz self-narrating her inspiring Stop Rushing and Start Living. It is an amazing book. I've been in awe and I've learned so much over the last couple of days. Liz is a slow living advocate with over 25 years of experience helping people find calm, clarity and meaning in their lives. Liz knows firsthand how hard it can be to slow down and how transformative it is when you finally do, which you clearly have and you know how to do it. After hitting her own wall of constant rushing and burnout, she started to make small intentional changes that helped her reclaim her time, energy and joy, and write a book to help you claim yours as well. And the book is a beautiful reminder that slowing down isn't about doing less, it's about living more, as I've just learned. Welcome to the podcast, Liz.
Thanks for having me.
So good to have you here. So, firstly, how was that for you in there for 3 days?
It was great. I was a bit nervous to start with.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed the experience.
Excellent.
It really it really brought it more to life for me.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, you seem to come in very well prepared. Like, you hardly made any mistakes in there. And I think I say that to quite a few authors, but literally, obviously, the work that you do, the calming work, kept you calm and focused. Your mind obviously wasn't talking to you that much that you could deliver long sessions without a mistake.
Mm. So. It's not a lot going on up there some days, but I've worked hard to get it that way.
Yeah. So how many times did you read at first?
I do better when I read out loud. Like, I've always been someone like, I'll walk around the house and talk to myself if I have a problem rather than thinking about it, because hearing it out loud just seems to help me process it. And I'm like that with all my writing. It doesn't matter what I'm writing, if it's a letter, if it's a psychology report, if it's writing a book. I just find saying it out loud makes me process it better and think, oh yeah, that sounds all right, or oh no, I better change that. So I just always talk out loud.
Does that mean, are you an audible learner then?
Possibly. Funnily enough, when I'm learning, I prefer to read.
Okay.
I think I need to take it in visually. It depends what I'm learning. If it's something I'm really interested in, then audible is fine.
Yeah.
But I do tend, I remember from uni and going to school, I have to see it in front of me.
That's me.
Yeah.
But I do that too, is I read things out loud, or if I'm needing to clarify things, I'll voice it out loud. Or if I'm sending an email, I'll read it out loud before I send it.
Yeah.
But I guess that comes with the territory with what I do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you mentioned in Stop Rushing, Start Living that a news story about the burnout was the thing that triggered you to think, oh, I'm feeling that. But what was it that news story to be the catalyst for you to say, oh, I'm taking attention to this now?
I think it was a slow burn. It's something that I had been feeling for quite a while, just feeling burnt out, and like life was just going by way too fast. You know, I felt like I had gone to bed and woken up and my kids were grown up.
Yeah.
You know, they were tiny little bundles of beautiful joy. And I mean, they're still joyful at their moments. But now I've got
now they're
one,
not.
Yeah, now I've got one about to go out into the world and leave high school. And I thought, where did all that time go? And I think it was a slow burn. And it wasn't until I sort of got to that point when I heard the words burnout on the television and I thought, yeah, I think that's what I'm feeling. I think that's what it is. You know, I feel like life is going by too fast. I feel like I'm always chasing my tail. I'm always tired. And, you know, I'm a mum. All mums are like that. We're always tired. We've always got more stuff to do.
Yeah, so true.
But I just felt like I wasn't enjoying my life. I wanted to have memories, lots of good memories. I wanted to get to the end of my life and say, wow, I've got some great memories, because that's all you can take with you.
Yeah.
Is the memories you've made and the love in your heart.
So true.
That's all you've got with you at the end. And I didn't feel like I had filled that up enough. And I wanted to slow life down so that I could actually really enjoy those moments and really be present with the people that I love and care about.
Yeah. And so what were the first steps that you took to start making that happen? Because you're a psychologist, you were helping other people.
I know I should know this stuff, right?
Yeah, and did you, like, I'm thinking this is all the stuff, because there's basically 12 steps to slowing down and, you know, breathing and enjoying your life and getting joy out of it. Did you learn them doing psychology, or how did they all come about?
Look, there was parts of it that you do learn being a psychologist, that are in the various therapies that you learn as you go through uni and as you go out into the world and you do your job. And it's so much easier to help other people change their life.
Yeah, I know. I love helping people. I'm the same. When it comes to you, it's so hard. That's what I kept saying to you. This is very confronting for me.
Well,
your book.
And it is, because I essentially almost basically wrote the book for myself, as well as a reminder that to keep going, keep doing it. You are doing the right things. You are slowing down. But yeah, I guess I forgot where I was going with that.
That comes from doom scrolling. I've heard from another book, Our AI.
Really?
Felicity told me that. But yeah, you were telling me about the 12 steps and how that you learned some of that stuff in doing psychology.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I did learn some of that in psychology. I've always sort of had elements of that in my life here and there. But I think what I sort of... The first few steps I took, the very first one was just becoming more mindful, just pausing. Because that all of the concepts in my book that I've written about, with mindfulness, gratitude, intention, setting boundaries, letting go, all of that, they're not separate techniques. They're all very interconnected, and they all kind of build upon each other. You can't get gratitude if you don't slow down to notice things. So the very first thing is just to pause, just to stop and take a breath. And then just notice what's around you. And when you do that, when you stop and you notice, that's when gratitude naturally comes in. You get organic gratitude. You don't have to force it then. You can stop and look at that beautiful plant, that beautiful flower, that beautiful face of a sleeping baby. You know, those sorts of things then start to fill your heart with gratitude. And then from that gratitude, you start to really enjoy the simple things in life. And then that leads to you wanting to have more time. It leads to you thinking, okay, well, there is more to life. You know, these simple pleasures does mean there's more to life. So I think I need to set some more boundaries to give myself more time. And then when you do that, you have to sort of let go of some stuff, because, you know, you can't keep doing all of this rushing around and then have time to stop and enjoy as well. Yeah. So they all kind of just build upon each other, I think.
And I think it's really good how you've put it in there, that slowing down and makes way for basically for you to notice your life. But it's taking that first step, I think, that is the hardest thing, because you think, me personally, when I was listening to it, thinking, I've got so much going on. I know I'm not alone, but I've got work and I've got my children and I've got this, that and the other, but how do I actually, because I know the benefit of slowing down, but how do I take that first step? You know, you've got exercises in your book that show that, but to the person that's listening now thinking, yep, my life is just too hectic, what's your first advice to them to, you know, besides breathing and just pausing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because sometimes my kids say to me, like, just take a breath, Mum. Or Michaela likes to say, what's 5 things you can see? And I'm immediately riled up saying, but as soon as I do that...
you feel better.
Yeah. She wins.
You've taught them well. You've done a great job there.
Thanks.
And I think that's what it is. It's about giving yourself permission. That's, I think, the very first step. You've got to say to yourself, you've got to give yourself permission to say, you know what, it's okay just to stop. The world's not going to end if I take a breath for 5 minutes. That washing isn't going anywhere. Those clothes are still going to get folded. That toilet still needs to be scrubbed. But it can wait. The world is not going to end if you just take a couple of minutes to just breathe and reconnect with yourself. And by just taking that pause and reconnecting, you can say, okay, what do I need to do for myself right now? What will give me some support right now? And maybe it is, okay, I need to just sit down and have a cup of coffee, or I need to go and get outside and get some fresh air and clear my head, or I need to go for a walk, whatever it is. But you can't get that connection if you don't give yourself permission to actually stop. So I think that's where the first thing comes from, is saying, you know what, I'm allowed to just stop for a minute. And then your natural intuition will come in and sort of say, okay, this is what I need to do right now. I need a cup of coffee. I need to take a break. I need to go for a walk.
Yeah. So how did it come about writing your book? You know, when was that you decided, okay, I'm going to write a book about this?
I started at the beginning of the year, actually. At the beginning of every year, I like to sit down and set out my goals for the year.
Okay.
And that was one of the goals that I've been wanting to do for a really, really long time, is write a book.
Right. On that topic?
No, it was, I wanted to write something that would help people. I wanted to put something out there that would give people, because it's so hard to get in and see a psychologist or a counsellor or a life coach. It's really, really difficult for people to access those services.
Yeah.
There's long waiting lists. I mean, I haven't taken new clients on for a couple of years now myself.
Wow.
Bulk billing is almost non-existent anymore, so it's really difficult for people. And although my book is not a replacement for therapy or treatment in any way, it does give people some strategies that they can use just to sort of calm their mind and slow things down a little bit. So I wanted to put something out there that people would find useful.
Yeah.
That could just start enhancing their lives in a useful way, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think that people are going to love your book, especially sort of, you know, to be able to pause and self-reflect. And I think, you know, with scrolling and with those phones and with everything else, that you don't really get a moment to actually think about yourself. Because I grew up in the 80s and we didn't have a distraction like the device, or, you know, there was only 2 channels on the telly and you can go outside and play, so you had a lot of time to use your imagination. I remember being very young, being out in the, you know, in the back of the sand dunes building a cubby out of sticks. But the kids nowadays don't get that, you know, whatever that is, the freedom of being able to do that, and their mind's distracted.
Oh, yeah, they're always entertained.
Yeah, so, you know, mums probably constantly not only telling themselves get off the phone, but also telling the younger ones to get off the phone. What's your advice to them?
I think the first thing is you have to model the behaviour, and that's hard. It's hard, 'cause especially if you're tired and you've had a long day and you're like, oh, you know, I just want to sit on the couch and relax for a while. But I think the first thing when it comes to kids is we've got to model that behaviour. We can't say get off your phones if we're sitting there scrolling on our phone in front of them. So I think lead by example where you can. I mean, technology is useful. It has made life a lot easier, and it's
definitely
connected us in a way like we've had nothing before. But I think it's about using it with purpose, not just something to fill in the empty space.
Yeah.
So I think lead by example, and then get the kids involved in doing something. You know, if you can get them helping you in the kitchen, and I know that can be hard because it will make everything take 10 times longer.
Yeah.
And it will be a massive mess.
Yeah.
But just think of those wonderful memories you've made together.
That's exactly right.
You might not want to do it every meal.
Yeah.
But, you know, get them doing things with you. Go for a walk with them. But when you walk, get them looking around. Oh, look at that pretty flower. Oh, look at that little bug.
Yeah.
Look at that lizard running across the road. And that sort of starts getting them into that area of thinking, oh, you know, there's some beautiful little things in the world.
Yeah.
You know, it's about appreciating those smaller things.
That's very true. That's good advice. Okay, so I think it's the 2nd or 3rd chapter, you talk about living with intention and how setting intentions rather than goals shape the way that you approach your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
I think that's always sort of been a part of my spiritual journey, I suppose. I read a lot of spiritual books and esoteric books. I love that sort of topic.
Yeah.
So my family, you know, my mum and my brother are quite interested in that side of things too. But I really do believe that intention drives the universe. It sets everything that you do, whether you're aware of it or not.
Yeah.
I mean, you eat because you're hungry. You go for a walk because you've got to go and get something. Everything you do has an intention behind it. So when you consciously set an intention, you're kind of getting your subconscious on board with the outcome that you want to have. It doesn't mean it will always happen that way. It could turn out completely different. Yeah. But at least it kind of gives you an idea of what you're wanting to get out of it.
Yeah.
And like, just take going for a walk, for example. This is the example I use with all my clients. If your intention is, okay, I'm going to walk for fitness, you're going to walk very differently than if you're going for a walk to just sort of relax.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to get fit, you're going to go on a heart pumping challenge. You're going to, do it time focused. You're going to try and get your heart rate up. But if you're just walking to just clear your head, you're going to amble along, look at all the pretty gardens, look at the flowers. Exactly the same route, probably, exactly the same thing you're doing. You're walking, but two different intentions leads to two very different outcomes. So I really believe that if you set your intention before you do an activity, it gives it more meaning. It helps kind of guide the outcome that you want. And it makes you feel more connected to what you're doing as well. And you do get that more of a sense of accomplishment. Wow, I went for a walk to clear my head and that really worked. Yeah. I really enjoyed that.
Do you find that you do like almost everything with intention now? How long have you been doing this sort of work on yourself?
I do most days. I'll sit up and go, okay, what's my intention for today? And depending on what I have on the day, like if I'm just at home pottering around, it might be, okay, I'm just going to relax today. I just want to have a nice, easy day. So I'll make sure that I walk, nicely through the rooms. I don't rush around cleaning everything. I just have a nice, relaxing day.
Yeah.
Or if I've got a busy day ahead of me, my intention will be different. Okay, I want to try and be focused and on task today. So I'll approach that day differently. And I usually do that when I'm laying in bed before I get out of bed in the morning. Okay. I'll think, okay, what have I got on today? What's my intention for today?
Right.
And then that'll kind of guide where I go and how I do it.
That's cool. And so what about your family, like in particular your kids? They're still at home. Do you teach them this sort of stuff? Do you say, what's your intention for today?
I try to, and I usually get a lot of eye rolls. So, I'm mum, what would I know? I've never been young.
Yeah, that's right. Neither have I.
So sometimes they listen. I mean, I've always done it ever since they were little. I've said, I've always tried to instill in them okay, let's take a breath, or, think of something that you're grateful for, or just really developing that appreciation for smaller things in life as well, those small little joys that you have too. So I've always kind of done that with them as they were growing up. And I'll say, okay, well, what have you got on today? What's your goal for today? So I sort of do that with them in the mornings, and I think they do it for themselves. Sometimes I just do get the old eye roll, and it's like, a lot of groans from teenagers. Yeah. And it's more interpreting the groans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those sorts of
Teenage
things.
boys, I've heard that. Girls aren't too far different.
Yeah. No, I've only got boys, so I heard girls are harder.
I think they are. No, they're good now because I've got 21-year-old twins and an 18-year-old. But I too had a marriage breakdown 10 years ago, and I think I mentioned this to you in the booth that I went to a psychologist and found out about that. She gave me a cranberry and put it in my mouth and to taste it and to feel the texture and everything. And that was the first time I actually fully learned that you can bring your attention into something. So I was kind of blindly, whatever I was doing, I don't know what I was doing before, but it really helped, and it helped me set my business up and doing what I'm doing now. And just revisiting it with your book is a timely reminder, because I've kind of moved away from that sort of thinking, and everything's all chaotic and it's all really hard and it's all really rushed. And now you've reminded me with your book about taking a breath and being grateful and slowing down. So you also work full time.
Yeah.
And you tell us a little bit about what you actually do.
I'm a small business owner. I don't work for anyone. I work for myself. So I'm a self-employed psychologist. Yeah. So I used to work out of a GP surgery in this little room with no windows, just air conditioning, just fluorescent lighting, 2 little chairs, and I just see people back to back to back, maybe with 5 minutes in between to write my notes or any letters I had to do. And I mean, I really enjoy working with people. I really feel quite honoured to be able to be part of people's lives and help them on their journey. But, oh, wow, it was just full on.
Yeah, that sounds pretty full on.
Yeah, so I thought, no, you know what, I need to do something differently.
Holding space for all of those people in one day.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it can be.
You're obviously
very
a very
draining.
strong woman.
Well, the strong people are the ones that come to me. I have an easy job. I just get paid to be nosy and listen. That's
right.
That's a really good job.
Wow.
So I thought, no, you know what? I want fresh air. I want some sunshine. I don't want to do this anymore. So It's funny, I was sitting there. I get my best ideas when I'm usually in the toilet or in the shower. And I was sitting there one day thinking, this thought just dropped into my head. And it just said, you know what, why don't you just go mobile? And I thought, oh, it's not a bad thought. And it's funny, I've always felt quite a connection to, spirit and everything. And I had a grandmother that passed away overseas not long after I had that thought. It was probably a couple of months. And I was having my cup of coffee and I was sort of voicing out loud, like I usually do to myself, I wonder if this is a good idea. I wonder if I could make this happen. And I looked down at my cup of coffee that had all the foam and everything on it, and it formed into a perfect heart.
Wow.
Right as I had said that word out loud, I wonder if this is a good idea. And it formed into a perfect heart. And I thought, well, there's my answer. I'm just going to try it and let's go for it.
How good's that?
So I did it and I became mobile. So now I see 4 clients a day. I've got half an hour between each person. And it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I go out and visit people in their homes. A lot of them are clients I've had for quite a while.
Yeah.
Or I'll meet them at the park, or I'll meet them at a cafe. And it's wonderful, and people love it.
Yeah.
They really like that.
Do you think it makes a difference to those clients that, that you meet outside to being in that little room, that they've got more expanse to, let their emotions out when they speak to you?
I think so. I think it feels more like they're catching up with someone and having a chat rather than a formal. Look, it doesn't work for everybody, and that's fine. It's not going to be a format that would work for everybody, but the people who come to me, they like that format, and it works well for them because it's informal.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there's still quite a lot of stigma around mental health and having to go into an office to see someone for counselling. There shouldn't be, but there is still a lot of stigma around that for some people.
Yeah, definitely. So how long have you been doing that for then?
I think this year I'm coming up on 30 years of being a registered psychologist.
Right. And your own business?
My own business for about 16 years.
Legend.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So before that, I worked in the government, so I worked for Centrelink for quite a number of years.
Okay. That you'd see the difference between working for government and then working for yourself?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like working for myself a lot better. Yeah.
You said that out loud.
Yeah. I'd be an awful employee. I don't think I could ever work for anyone again. I'd probably get fired. I don't know how to keep my mouth shut.
Well, that's probably a good thing if you're speaking with people who need, reassurance and need to hear what needs to be said. That's why they're coming to see you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you've written the book, but it's not quite released yet, is it?
No. So it's hopefully the paperback and the ebook will be out towards the end of next week.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, and then the audiobook hopefully a little later this year.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about it.
So are you getting feedback from people in your circle saying, well done, or when can we read it, and in particular your clients?
Yeah, I have gotten feedback from all of them actually. So my clients are quite keen to have a read. Of course, they'll all get a free copy if they would like one.
No, that shouldn't be. That's your hard work.
And then my friends and family are really keen as well to have a look.
Yeah. Well, they're going to love it, and I'm sure their lives are going to be better for it. So I want to discuss, I think Chapter 7 was my favourite, because I think I even stopped you and said, you were talking about how to put your screens down, and that's when your imagination and your creativity, in those silent moments when you're not busying yourself, that's where your ideas come, like your idea in the shower. And I honestly think that since the phones have taken over, that those ideas, when you do give yourself some space, they really do come thick and fast, the ideas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if they came that thick and fast before the phones. We used to say, I'm bored.
Yeah.
I remember, I'm bored.
Yeah.
But now there's no time. I don't even know if I've ever heard my kids say that line, I'm bored.
We've lost the art of contemplating our navels. Where you just sort of sit there and daydream about anything and everything. Because now, instead of doing that, I think the majority of people, maybe not so much our generation, but definitely the younger generation, everything's filled, all silences are filled.
Yeah.
So they're either watching something or scrolling something or playing something.
Yeah.
And most of it is all a screen.
Yeah.
So you can't, creativity has to flow, but it can't flow if there's no room for it to flow.
That's right.
And inspiration doesn't strike if you don't actually have space for it to arrive. You don't have to have great wads of time, because nobody's got that.
Yeah.
You know, but I think it's quality over quantity. The quality of your silences matter.
Yeah.
The quality of your giving yourself the permission to just say, you know what, I'm just going to sit here and have a cup of coffee and let my mind wander.
Yeah.
And if that's only for 5 minutes, that's great. That's fine.
Yeah. And what about for parents? How can they sort of nudge their children in that path to say, you know, just try and be bored for 5 minutes? Just try and be bored.
Without a meltdown when you turn their internet off.
Yeah. The Wi-Fi's off.
Sorry, internet's died globally for 10 minutes.
That's the biggest catastrophe, right?
I think it's just trying to get them into some hobbies and habits that aren't related to a screen. Like my kids at the moment are into trying to learn how to draw.
That's good.
Anime or manga. I can't remember which one it is, but one of those sorts of things. So, you know, I've got them the pens and the pad and everything, so they'll do that. So I think it's about finding little things that they can do that don't have anything to do with a screen. So whether it's drawing, whether it's going out and just kicking the footy in the backyard, or going for a family walk or a bike ride, or just getting them to read an actual book.
Yeah, like a paper with paper.
Yeah, those things, yeah. Or even listening to music in their room. I mean, it doesn't always have to be something where they're going out and doing something, because, you know, if it's raining, you can't really go for a bike ride. But, you know, just you know, sitting on their beds and doodling and drawing, or... Yeah,
I think it would be very, very beneficial for them to get some space in there and to get those ideas flowing, because that's where, I think, like you said, spiritually, you're closest to God, you know, to on that level when you find that silence.
Yeah. That's, you need the silence for the messages to be dropped in, don't you?
Definitely.
So, one of the things that I used to love doing with my kids when they were smaller, just to help with their imagination, and because they always wanted a story, we would just make stories up. So I'd say a few lines of something, then I'd say, okay, now you make up that story. And then I'd pick up a few minutes later, and then they'd pick up and do a story. So, you know, we get this story going of this. It usually always involve farts with boys. But
does it? That's funny.
Some form of bodily function. But yeah, we get a story round going, I suppose. Yeah. And they really liked that.
That's a great idea. I actually did the same with my kids.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
My dad lives 3 hours away, and we used to do that in the car on the way back. They'd start, and then we got down to we'll say one word each and try and make a story. Once.
Oh, yep.
You go upon. It wasn't really developing any major story, but it would crack us up.
Yeah. Oh, the good old game of I Spy, when you're driving in the car instead of scrolling on your iPads.
Yeah.
Or trivia games, you know, those sorts of things. Board games are great.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, I think all of that stuff is really wholesome. But another very important part of your book is the self-care chapter. So, and how it's not selfish to be doing self-care.
Oh no, it's a necessity.
Yeah. So I've got a problem. I've got a problem with all of your chapters. No, I don't have a problem.
Hopefully in a good way.
No, I'm learning. That's what I mean. I'm learning so much from all of your chapters. But yeah, I'm a single mum. I run my own business, so I don't give myself that much time. But I think when the girls were littler, I sort of instilled in them that they should be caring more about themselves. So I think the younger generation are better at self-care. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think they are too. Yeah. I think because our generation has instilled that in.
Yeah.
You know, look after yourself, make sure you take time for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about the importance of that and how it's not selfish. Tell me.
Well, look, if you don't take time for yourself, I think, to recharge your own batteries and to fill up your own cup, first of all, no one else is going to do it for you. So if you don't prioritise that for yourself, then all that does is build up resentment over time, I think. Builds up resentment, frustration, and it is a fast track to just getting burnt out. And usually you'll either get angry at someone, get irritable, or you'll get sick, you know, because your whole immune system and your whole body will get run down because you're just always on the go. So, and I think the main thing I think that's important with self-care is, again, it doesn't have to be huge parcels of time that you're taking to do it.
Yeah.
It can, it goes back to intention. If you're setting your intention that I'm going to do this as a self-care activity, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to have a cup of coffee just for 10 minutes just to clear my head, and this is my self-care activity. I'm going to light a candle and make it special. Then that intention sets, this is my self-care.
Yeah, that's another really amazing thing about your book, is that you don't have to do anything monumental. It's just small steps to start you on the road.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, making very small steps. But it's about consistency, 80% of the time, because 20% of the time life happens. You know, people get sick, crazy things happen, so you have to give yourself a bit of grace on that one.
Yeah.
But I think it's just about saying, okay, and stopping, and that comes into, that part about self-reflection. It's about giving yourself that permission to stop and saying, what do I need to do for me right now? And then just see what comes up. So is it, okay, I really just want to go and have a bubble bath and just melt into it? Or I really need a massage. My body is so, stiff and tight. I need to do some sort of movement or have a massage to kind of loosen myself up and just feel a bit more relaxed again. So really asking yourself, like you would with a friend. I mean, because I bet you give everybody really good advice.
Yeah.
I bet you give everybody lots of wonderful love and care and attention. But you don't do that for yourself. No. So ask yourself the question, what do I need to do for me today to make me feel cared for?
Yeah. Have you always been good at self-care yourself?
I'm better now than I used to be.
Yeah.
I think all mums, especially when you have small kids, or parents, I don't want to be, just mum-focused, all parents.
Yeah.
Everybody looking after somebody, even if that's, an adult
person,
or an elderly person or someone with a disability. It is hard to put yourself first, because you're so used to caring for someone else. You're so used to making sure that they're okay that you kind of lose yourself in the process. But if you don't look after yourself and you fall in a heap, there's no one there to look after them. So that's why looking after yourself is important.
Yeah. That's why the analogy on the plane always works, right? They were teaching us right from going on our first flight, put the mask on yourself first before your children. And then also the chapter on disconnection and just, unplugging and taking a step away from everything that you're doing.
Well, I think nature has a wonderful way of healing you. And, it can just be your backyard on your balcony. Out there in your own backyard. It doesn't have to be out in the woods or at the beach. I mean, that's great if you can get there.
Yeah.
But if you can't, then it could just be a pot plant on your table if you want.
Yeah.
But anything that makes you feel like you're connected, because I think humans are the only animals on this planet that put themselves into an artificial environment. We're in rooms, we don't touch the earth, we're on tiles or carpet, we have artificial lighting.
Yeah, we've got walls around us.
We have walls around us.
Yeah.
And some people don't spend any time at all outside.
Yeah.
Maybe they can't for whatever reason, but I think it's really important, if you can, to get that connection with nature, because it connects you again to your humanness.
Yeah.
And it connects you to each other.
Yeah.
I often think, sometimes I'll sort of be outside pottering around in my garden and I sort of let my mind wander a bit, and then you get all these wonderful philosophical thoughts that go through your head.
Yeah.
And you think, you know what? This thing, whatever it is, only has value because we say it does. But it's just a thing. Who says we have to go and do that? That's just some construct or expectation that some other human has made.
Yeah.
It's all of these things and all these expectations and rules we put around ourselves that either we do or society does or whatever. But they don't have to be there. You can change them if you want to.
That's right. You can change.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think when you disconnect, you give yourself a chance to have some of those thoughts.
Yeah.
You allow those things to come, and I think it just opens up your perspective. It opens up your life so much more, because you're not always directed by some artificial algorithm on what to think, what to do, what to say, what to eat, what to buy. You've got this invisible thing saying you should be doing this and that because you're looking up this and that. So obviously you want more of this and that. But maybe you don't want this and that anymore.
Right, then.
You want that and this instead.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't know that if you don't disconnect and give yourself the space.
Yeah. Just even hugging a tree or just standing on the ground without your shoes on the grass.
Oh, I love doing that. I hate wearing shoes.
Yeah, in the garden.
Yeah, I'm always barefoot. My husband's like, how can you do that? He's English. So
Did you grow up in Mackay?
Gladstone.
Right.
far.
Did you? Oh,
Yeah,
I used to
Central
work in
Queensland.
Gladstone.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, on the
Everyone's
radio.
been there. It's like the black hole of Queensland.
it
It
really
sucked
is
everyone
the
in
black
at some
hole.
point. It's a great place. It was a great place to grow up.
Maybe growing up, I was there a bit older. I had my heart broken there. That's why it's not a good place.
Oh, no.
I didn't know that. So there you learn something new.
Yeah.
Oh, so you did
small
grow
world.
up without your shoes.
I did, yeah. Standing on prickles. And yeah.
Yeah. So how long have you been living in Brisbane?
We've been here since 2003. I went overseas in 1999 and went over to travel around Europe, and I met my husband over there. I met him when I was working in a pub in Cheltenham in England.
Right.
He walked in the door and I felt a physical sensation like someone had flicked me in the forehead.
Wow, I just got cold.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'd always sort of put out there to the universe that I'll know when I meet the right one, when I meet my soulmate. And when I first saw him, that's what happened. I had a flick in my forehead, like the universe saying, well, there he is.
How cool is that?
And then we moved in 2 weeks later.
Right. Did he feel anything?
I don't know, but he's still with me, so I
Yeah.
guess it worked.
That's sweet.
And we've been together 26 years now. Yeah, 26
Well, he
years
got very
together.
lucky. He got you and he got the beautiful weather here.
He did. He got dragged to another country. So I lived over there with him until 2003, and then, yeah, we came over
You're
here. and
joking. I was
immigrated.
in England for exactly the same period of time.
Oh, really?
99 to 2003. I came
Oh,
back and
wow.
I got pregnant when I got back here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We may have crossed paths at
Yeah,
some point.
I was in London for the first 6 months and then Cambridge. I
okay.
worked in Cambridge. Yeah, they were good times.
Yeah, they
You would
were.
have got there maybe just before the Soho bombing and all around about that time.
Oh, I can't remember. I just know I went before the Y2K buzz.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
full on. Yeah, nothing happened. But that was also for New Year's for the turn of the century, or the millennium.
Yeah,
That was
that's
good,
right.
wasn't it?
Yeah, yep.
Did you work over there, or it was just like a travelling holiday?
No, I travelled for about the first 6 months, and then I got a job in a pub for a while. Then I worked with a financial advisor as a secretary.
Right.
For a little while, and then I went and worked with the primary health team as a psychology assistant for about 2 or 3 years.
Good for you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And there I was working with the team, teaching people about stress management and all that sort of thing.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. And did you get to see much of Europe then while you were there?
Yeah, I did a bit of a tour of Europe. I did the good old Kentucky tour.
Yeah.
So I did that, and that was fun. That was before I met my husband.
Yeah, I was going to say, because they're singles, aren't they?
Oh, there
Or
was
the-
a few couples on there, but yeah, no, it was good. So we went to Italy and France.
Well travelled.
Yeah, and then we also went to Venice and France as well,
Lovely.
and
Venice
some
is
more places in
beautiful.
Italy with my husband and my brother when he came over with his now wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're really close to your brother. He's into the esoteric stuff. You give him a shout out in your dedication.
Yeah.
And you said he's your best friend, so that's very
Yeah.
cool. Your
Yeah,
mum
he
must
is.
be.
He's awesome.
Your parents pretty happy that you've got a good relationship with your brother.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it just the two of you?
There's just the two of us with my mum and dad, and then I also have a half sister who lives in America as well, Sherry, and she's really lovely too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you also said, I picked you up on pronunciations a couple of times, particularly on clarity.
Yeah. Clarity and barrier. Yes.
So you can listen to those. I've tried to correct them. No, Liz did such a good job with her narration. But
thank
you said that you American also. Did you live over there? You said it must be my American accent.
Yeah, my dad's American and my mum's Australian. They met while my dad was in the American Navy travelling around Europe, and my mum was hitchhiking around Europe when she was 19.
Right.
So they met in Italy. So they've got a really cool story as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was born over in the States and lived there until I was 8, and then we moved back to Australia because my mum's dad lived in Australia.
Right.
And we moved back here when I
Okay.
was in 1980, I think it was.
Have you been back to America?
A couple of times, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Once, I think, since we moved back. Yeah, I can't remember.
That's good to you've seen a lot of the world. It's a bit of a crazy place now, the world, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah, yeah.
Yep. We'll just leave it at that. But you've got the antidote with your book.
Yes, exactly.
That's right.
To feel calm and relaxed.
That's right. Live a better life. To be more present, which is a very good thing, and be more mindful. You've got some really good meditations in there. You say you work well with meditations and you like doing those sort of things.
Yeah, I really enjoy meditations. I put a few up on my social media, my YouTube channel that I have.
Okay.
Which is only very fledgling, and it's a bit cringy to watch me on there, but the meditations aren't too bad.
Yeah. Well, you got to start somewhere.
Well, exactly.
So,
yeah.
and I think that's a really noble thing that you're doing. You're showing willing to, like you said, you've got to start by showing your kids, getting off the phone. So you're, doing a very good thing by starting a business and getting on YouTube. And I'm looking forward to seeing your channel grow. Yeah, it was really good listening to your book because especially during your meditations, thinking, okay, you're working, so you can't do the meditation just yet, but maybe afterwards when I'm editing, I'll do it.
That's fine.
Yeah. But they're very good, and your voice is very calming as well. So,
Oh, thank you.
do you go out and do other people's meditations? Do you meditate much?
I try to. I can only meditate for about 10 minutes before I fall asleep. Otherwise, I'd like to meditate more, but I usually just then drift off to sleep. So, but I used to run meditation groups, probably 10 years ago. I ran a couple of meditation groups and I quite enjoy doing that.
Yeah, well, you're good at that. So, where is your YouTube? Where can people find you?
Yeah, so I've got an Instagram, Facebook and YouTube channel, all called Slow Down with Liz.
Awesome.
And I've also got a website which isn't live yet, but hopefully will be by the end of next week, which is just www.slowdownwithliz.com.
Fantastic. And the book, like you said, hopefully it'll be up and available in a couple of weeks. And
Yeah. We're aiming for the end of next week for the paperback and the ebook. And then the audiobook a little later this year.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Congratulations. So it's
you.
Stop Rushing, Start Living, Slow Down with Liz. You don't have to do it in big, giant ways. It can be small, subtle ways to get you on that road to living a better life, more relaxed life.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in and choosing to do this with me, Liz. I've really appreciated working with you.
Oh, thank you for having me, and thank you for making it such a great experience in there. I really loved the support and all the encouragement. It was really a wonderful experience.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. That's my aim, so thank you for that. And please remember to share the video so you can get this message out, and share Liz's information with people that need to slow down in their lives. It's probably everyone, I'd imagine. Like the video so it goes up in the algorithms, more people can see it. And please subscribe to my channel so you can hear chats with authors just like Liz Anderson. And thank you for being part of my podcast today, Liz.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for joining the Simone Feiler podcast.
What's your story?
Contact Simone for a chat at brisbaneaudiobookproduction.com.